Hello and welcome to a Double Stitch Creations tutorial. Today we're just going to be working on just the basic cover for a chapstick holder or lip gloss. So once you've done the basic cover, then you can embellish it and turn it into anything you like this cute koala one. You can make like a miniature dolphin, and I will be doing a tutorial on that soon to put on top. Sorry, I gave my miniature dolphin lip gloss to my niece. I don't have it here to show you, but I had white, blue and then white representing the wave, and I put the dolphin on top. I've got this mini bee, and here's another dolphin lip gloss cover design, which I'm still not 100% on. Let me know if you think in the comments if you like it. I'm not sure. I think my niece was right. Putting the miniature one on top looked a bit better. But we'll see how we go. Yeah, but let me know if you want a tutorial on that, and I can do that. Alright, so today it's just about getting the basic cover done, and then you can add whatever you like to it. I am going to be working in the colours because I want to finish off my Flamingo lip gloss cover tutorial. So today I'm going to do white and then pink for the body. So the lid is basically the body of whatever animal you want, or like I said, I did white for a wave, the top of a wave for the dolphin. With the bee, I might do pink for a flower. So it's really up to you, but I generally doing two colours. So I picked green for leaves for the koala, and then I did grey because I'm going to turn this into another koala cover, or you can just keep it like that. But anyway, it's completely up to you. But what we're going to do today is work towards getting the flamingo one done, but it is just a basic cover. So I'm going to use white. I'm using 8-ply wool here. Could be cotton, it's up to you. And I'm also going to use pink for the body. We're starting with the white. And if you're just starting out, use a 3.5mm crochet hook, scissors, and a tapestry needle. Alrighty, let's get started. Alright, so to get started, leave a bit of a tail, and we'll make a slip knot, wrapping the end around your finger twice, grabbing the back loop and pulling it over the front loop. Once more, grabbing the end of your tail, wrapping in front of the loop that's still on your finger, grab the back loop and pull over the front loop, and now you've got your slip knot that you can put on your crochet hook. Right. Okay, the way I hold my yarn is I put my pinky under here, turn, put my pointer here, and then my index finger comes around and lightly holds my wool. And my index finger and thumb lightly holds my work close to the crochet hook. The closer you hold it, the easier it is to work. And this is our working yarn. It's not tight, but the pointer is keeping it straight so you can work. But you'll find your own way. And we're going to chain 2. So it's called yarn over in crochet. So putting your hook under that yarn or yarn over, hooking it and pulling it back through the loop in your hook. That's 1. Then 2, and we're going to put 7 single crochets into the second chain from the hook. So here's our hook, this is our first chain, and this is our second. We can't work into the first chain because it will just undo, so we're going to the second. And if you just follow that end tail through that slip knot to this bottom loop of the second chain, and just pull it out, because you can tighten it later if you pull it out. Oops, I got my needle caught. So you pull it out, you can make it bigger. That way you can see where you're going to put all your stitches. So we're just going to put 7 single crochets into this loop, and then we'll pull it tight at the end. So putting your hook into that chain space that we just made bigger, yarn over or into that chain, pull up a loop so you have 2 loops in your hook, then yarn over, pull through both loops, and that's your first single crochet. Going back into that same chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, 2 loops in your hook, yarn over, pull through both loops. That's your second. I'm just doing, we're going to do 5 more, doing the same thing. 2, oh sorry, 3, that's 4, 5, 6, and 7, and now you can pull it tight, pull the tail tight. And that's our first round done. Moving on, we're now going to do two single crochets into every stitch around for until we have 16 stitches. Sorry, not 16, 14. So putting my hook under the first stitch around. So it's going on. Each stitch has a front loop and a back loop, so I'm putting my hook under both those loops for the first stitch. Yarn over, pull up a loop, 2 loops in your hook, yarn over, pull through both. That's 1. I'm going back into that same stitch and doing another single crochet. So into that stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, 2 loops in your hook, yarn over, pull through both. That's 2. Now moving to this next stitch along. So we want 14 stitches, sorry, not 16. So we're doing 2 stitches into every stitch around until we have 14. I apologise for that, thinking of a different pattern. So I'm going into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, 2 loops in your hook, yarn over, pull through both. And then I'm putting another single crochet into that stitch. So I've now got 4 stitches for this round. I just tend to count it when it's this small, but you could always put a stitch marker in. Now I'm doing another 2 single crochets into the next stitch. Another 2, so this will be 7, 8, then another 2, 9, 10, and then another 2, 11, 12, and then the last one, 13 and 14, and we'll just count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Now at this point we will pull this middle nice and tight, and grabbing your tapestry needle, we will just weave in the end. So just going in and out of the stitching on the back here. Just tucking it away. Right, so just in and out, back and forth. Okay, once you're happy with that, you can trim it. And now we're moving on to round 3. So in round 3, just for this round only, we are working into the back loop. So you'll notice that each stitch, it's hard to see with the white, but each stitch has a front loop and a back loop, and we want to go into the back loop. only for this stitch, for this one, and we're just putting 1 single crochet into every stitch around. So just going into the back loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, 2 loops in your hook, yarn over, pull through both, that's 1, and then going into the next back loop, and you can have a, if it helps, I usually just count it when it's this small, but it's completely up to you. It does help if you have a stitch marker or just a scrap piece of yarn, put it there at your beginning stitch so that you know that's that round completed. So we're just doing 1 single crochet into every stitch for the 14 stitches. So into the back loop for this round. So I'm going into the back loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through both, into the back loop of the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through both loops. And we're just going to do single crochets all the way around for the 14 stitches. Alright, and that completes round 3, and you'll see that your chapstick cover is starting to turn, or lip gloss cover is starting to turn up. And we're now on to round 4. Okay, we're now on to round 4, and we're actually going to do round 4 to 14 now. So we're just doing 1 single crochet into every stitch around. So that'll be another 11 rounds. So they'll making the body of our cover. So we're just going to do 1 single crochet into every stitch for the 14 stitches, and we're going to do that 11 times. So just do this round with you, and then I'll leave you to do the other 10 rounds. So just putting 1 single crochet into every stitch all the way back to our stitch marker, and you're going to repeat that for another, and that'll be another 10 rounds after this. Just putting 1 single crochet into every stitch for the 14 stitches, and just going to repeat that another 10 times, and I will get back to you to work on the lid of our lip gloss or chapstick cover. So yes, just doing 1 single crochet into every stitch around, and you want to do that for another 10 rounds. So we're working on this part of our lip gloss. Alright, I will see you when we're up to this point. Alright, just finished round 14, making the body of our lip gloss cover. So you may have to add or take away a row depending on what cover you're making, what chapstick or lip gloss you're making for. I'm just trying to go to the top of the lid. And now I'm changing colour because I'm making a flamingo lip gloss cover. So grabbing your contrast colour. Alright, now if you're changing colour, so if you're not changing colour, you just leave your white attached. But if you're changing colour, what I do, just undo that last stitch of the round, and then just go into that last stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, so you've got 2 loops on your hook. Now grabbing your contrast colour or your lid colour, leaving a tail, and I just yarn over and pull it through both those loops that are on your hook. So we're now changing from white to pink, and well, I am, and then just pull it tight, and we'll deal with those ends in a little bit. So now we're going to chain 7, so yarn over, pulling it back through the loop and hook. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're skipping 7 stitches and we're going into the 8th stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So skip 7, and then I'm going to put my hook into this 8th stitch here. Then yarn over. Now, before I do, pull it tight, and I'll explain why in a minute. Just pull it tight so that loop on your hook is tight. Then go into that 8th stitch. So we skip 7, and we're going to the 8th stitch, yarn over, keep it tight just for this stitch alone. Then there's 2 loops in your hook, yarn over, pull through both. Keep it as tight as you can, because I've noticed that on some of these when I've joined it, I haven't kept it tight, and it's just a little bit loose, and to me it looks a little bit messy. But it's no big deal. Nobody's going to know but you. But just I just feel if I kept that tighter, you wouldn't have this bit of yarn making it look a bit messy. Alright, now we're just going to do a single crochet into every stitch around, back to where we started the chain. Now, when I change colour, I always like to do the first stitch of the next round, which will be round 16, and then I knot it off. Just a preference, but that's what I like to do. So I'm going to put 1 single crochet into the chain. And that will be the first stitch of this round. And now I'll just deal with this for a minute. Just cut a white off, leaving a bit of a tail. Pull the pink and the white tail tight. Then I just do my 3 knots. So just doing them nice and tight. And then we will weave these ends in, because we're not stuffing this like a toy. Normally I cut it off and just leave the ends because you're not going to see it, but we would see it in this, so we're going to weave them in later on. So I'm just going to tuck them into the body of the cover just to keep out of the way, and we will deal with them once we're finished. Right, so we're now on to round 16. We've done the first stitch, and you can put your stitch marker in, which I'm always losing. I had it. No matter, just grab a scrap piece of yarn, which I've always got a ton of, and just put it, stitch marker or your scrap piece of yarn, into the first stitch. Just pull it through so you know that that's your first stitch. And now that's off. Now we're working into the chain. So we're just going to go, I've got a link in the description below how to work in the chain. So it doesn't matter how you work in it, the best way you know how. So I'm just going into the chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, 2 loops in your hook, yarn over, pull through both. So we're just going into every chain, stitch along. So every stitch in the chain, we're just doing a single crochet. This is the fiddly bit. And then once we've got this done, we're good to go. Okay, we're doing a single crochet into every stitch in the chain. Now when you get to the end of that chain, just make sure you do a single crochet. Where's my tapestry needle? This is a stitch that usually gets skipped. Make sure you also do a single crochet into this stitch here, right here at the very end. It's usually the one that gets completely missed. So I'm going into that, and then I'm going to do a single crochet all the way back around. And then we'll count it to make sure we've got 14 stitches. One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. All right. So that was round 16. We're now up to rounds 17 to 19, which will be 3 rounds in total. And you're just going to do 1 single crochet into every stitch around for the 14 stitches, and we want to do that 3 times, so you might want your stitch marker in at the first stitch. So I'll do round 17 with you, so I'm just doing 1 single crochet into every stitch back to my stitch marker, and then I will leave you to do 2 more rounds. I'm doing exactly the same thing, and then we will finish off. Right, so as you can see, that joint, it's not perfect. I might need to work on my pen, but it's not too bad. It's a bit better than what I did on the koala there. Just trying to keep that stitching tight. It will stretch over time too. It's just one of those things. All right, do 2 more rounds like that, and then I'll get back to you to finish off. Okay, so that's the lid done. So you just measure it against your lip gloss, lip balm, chapstick, whatever it's called. So you want it to pretty much match the same height, because once we close it, it'll become a bit bigger. So that's looking pretty good. So now we're going to start decreasing to close the top of our cover. Now I'm going to, for this round, I'm going to work in the back loop. So remember, we've got, it's a bit easier to see on the pink. Each stitch has this front loop and a back loop, and we're just going to put our hook into the back loop only. Then we're going to decrease all the way around. So going into this stitch, we're doing single crochet decrease. I'm going into the back loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, into the back loop of the next stitch along. So you're essentially joining 2 stitches together, yarn over, pull up a loop, so you now have 3 loops in your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. Going into the back loop of the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, then into the back loop of the next stitch along, yarn over, pull up another loop, 3 loops in your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. Into the back loop of the next stitch along, yarn over, pull up a loop, into the back loop of the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops in your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3, and you want to do that all the way around, joining 2 stitches together, and you should have doesn't really matter how many you have at the end. I think it'll be Should be 7, I think. Right. I'm going to make it, I'm going to do one more, and that will be 6 stitches, and that will work just fine. So joining these two together, and then we're going to have 6 stitches. And now what we're going to do is just cut our yarn leaving a tail. And then I just usually do a going to the next stitch along, yarn over, pull up a loop, pulling, and I'm going to do a slip stitch here, and I'm going to pull the front loop through to the back loop. And just pull that yarn all the way through. And grab your tapestry needle. And just working in the back loop again. I'm just going to just go into each of the back loops, just around. I'm just doing the back loop only for the 6 stitches. And what this does is when you pull, you can pull it and it just closes the hole at the top really nicely. So just give it a pull now. And it all should all come together and close. There we go, just like that, see? And now I'm just going to weave this in through to the inside of my work. Turn the lid inside out. Okay, pull tight, and then just do your usual three knots. And then just weave your end in and out of the pink. Just in and out, back and forth, hiding the end away. And once you're happy with that, just match really close. Now remember these ends that we tucked away. Now I need to weave these in. So the pink I'm going to weave in on the pink, and the white I'll weave in on the white, and that way you can't see it. Just pulling it tight as you go, and I'm just weaving it back and forth in and out of the pink lid. Now grab the white, and you do want to weave it on the inside of your work, but I just pull it out a little bit like that. And then just grabbing your tapestry needle and weaving it in and out on the white. That way you won't see it on the other side. And then trim it really close. And now just putting this all the right way. Trim any ends that can be seen. And then test it out with your chapstick. There you go. And that's our basic cover for our chapstick or lip balm, and now you can have some fun embellishing it. And I will put a link in the description below to any of my chapstick, lip balm, lip gloss tutorial covers that I do for the embellishment. This will be the main one, and then you'll just have to watch the tutorials for things like the flamingo head, which that'll be the next tutorial. Doing the miniature dolphin so that you can add to the top. And the mini bee, obviously a koala. So yes, I've got a few more tutorials to do for this, but at the moment this is the basic lip gloss cover. Hope you enjoyed making that, and I will see you in the next tutorial. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.